My room's a mess. Hold. Why am I still streaming? Dude, why can't I just go live without? Like, I want to test it first. That's so annoying. Why am I still streaming? Oh man. Oh well. I didn't want to start the stream. It used to give me the option. It used to be like, you don't need to start the stream yet. What's up, Alicia? Dude, why can't I just go live without? Okay, so that's all working. This is all working. The input volume's kind of low. I'll turn it up to here. What's that like? I want to test it first. That's so annoying. Well, how does this sound like? I'm just testing my microphone. I'm so sad. I want to be like more prepared. You know? Now this is pretty quiet, but I kind of like it. I do kind of like it. Ooh boy. I feel like I wanted to go live just because it's been so long. I don't even know what the name of this. Yeah, I'm not researching Kamala Harris. It's probably gonna be a quick live. Let's Prager reactions. Right? We're gonna do some of those. Bum, 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 bum. I'm gonna get up and close my door. Turn on my. Ooh, so bright. So bright. What's up? I haven't streamed in so long. I'm gonna go on Twitter. I'm gonna tweet out that I'm streaming. On YouTube. Let's get the link to my stream. I'll call you back. Copy link. I've been trying to like clean up my internet footprint. You know? Cooking. Dude, I haven't had waffles in so long. 1 second. Let's make my bed real quick. Make my bed. For my birthday, my grandma invested in a microphone because I also record music. So I'm very excited that this is a microphone that I got. Like, this is so much more than I thought I would be getting. Deadass. So blessed. Thank you, Grandma. I appreciate it. I want the gang to show up. Let's see. What's the deal? Let's go to YouTube, see what's happening over there. Is California going up in flames from PragerU? I had an interesting I should probably go live on TikTok just a little bit. Or should I make it? What's up?
Everybody knows what happened on 9/11.
Jesus Christ, that's
right?
Probably so loud.
The truth is
that video also was super toxic. That was so bad. So I haven't done like any like prior research to this. You guys heard about the Caitlyn Bennett thing? That was beautiful. She got kicked out of UCF. God, that's great. She is so, oh man, conservatives. They think they're so like clever with their Prager. You, it's that aren't toxic. True. Mussolini. Stop calling me Mussolini. I'm gonna get triggered. um, Caitlin Bennett. She went to UCF. Didn't wear a mask. I stuttered. Didn't wear a mask. Got kicked out. Got like mobbed out basically. And she obviously like she wanted that. She wants that stuff to happen. That's her whole brand, is upsetting libs. But she was like, you guys can't tell me what to do with my body. It's my body, my choice, right, guys? The market will set you free. There's a video that they posted 7 months ago. I'm about to call him Mussolini. Political science. Do we have to destroy the earth to save it? Left and right differences. How does it feel? Does it feel good or does it do good? This is interesting. Hold up. Let me make this full screen. Hello. Now you can hear me. Right? Let me just copy this and put it into all of my. I figured it. I remember. It should be back. It should be back. It should be back. Yep. Okay. Let me make. I need to copy this. That's source. Boom. Now we're in this one too. And then let me add one to my. Actually, I won't use my monitor. I'll just switch in between Facecam and Chrome. So now the audio shouldn't go away. Y'all welcome. Bump, 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 bump. Look at that. Look at that. Wait, you know what I want to do? I want to change my transitions. Oh man. How do you do transitions? Edit transitions. I want a new transition. I want cut. I want a Luma wipe. What is that? Yes. Luma wipe. Hell yeah. What now? Ooh. You like that? You like that? Oh, I'm so freaked out about college. I would love to do van life. Genuinely. Anyways, I was talking about Caitlin Bennett trying to claim that the left wants to destroy the nuclear family, which is bad for black communities because obviously it is true that in this current system the best way to lead a successful life is through having a 2-parent household, not having children before you're married, finishing high school. Those are the 3 main factors. And that same study by, I think, the Brookings Institute showed that white people have a higher rate of completing those 3 factors. And this is, we all know, because of systemic racism. But this video saying black fathers matter, I'm assuming, just because I just listened to Caitlin Bennett rant about this, is a video trying to claim that the nuclear family is being destroyed by the left. When in reality, the reason single parent households are more common in black communities is because of over-policing and systemic racism. I was looking at colleges in California, but I think I might want to stick around Boston or DC. You know, because I don't like fire all that much. You guys can pick what video we want to watch. I don't want to do history because, like, I don't know much on Booker T. Washington, so I don't want to be lied to. This seems so dumb. Why I Fight for School Choice. The rally that changed my mind. What is fair? Economics. Minimum wage cost me my job. Well, I'm so interested what they fires. I do enjoy making fires, but I tend to prefer if they are contained. I like my fire to have regulations, you know? Guys, pick one. Pick one. What are you dying to know? What are you dying to be taught by Mr. Dennis Prager? You know, this guy edits every single script. Dennis Prager. He is like a neoconservative who is fed up with all the censorship on American like colleges, and he was so angry about that he made his own university, and then he realized that making an actual school is hard, so he put it online. So this man is confident that his own opinions is the reason why his own opinions are better than every single American institution for higher education. So keep that in mind when we watch this.
Like the fair-minded progressive that
Is this like super loud?
I was, I thought a $15 minimum wage was an absolute.
Let me just test it myself. Hold up. I just make sure it's not too loud. Oh, no, that's pretty good actually. Nice. Coolio. Okay.
Good. Then I had a head-on collision with reality.
Oh God, they always do this. They always like when I used to be a liberal, I was living in my fantasy, and then I woke up and saw reality. They always start like that. Real quick, the minimum wage. It's very important to note that the minimum wage growth versus inflation over time has. I want a nice graph. Where's that graph? This. Hold up, let me find this. Open image and new tab. So this, I'm on. So, if tracked by productivity since 1968, this is where the minimum wage would have been. Obviously, it doing well, doing well. 1970. Was that? That was Nixon, right? Yeah, around the time when Republicans started being like the worst, and then obviously Reagan stopped that from being the case. So the minimum wage should be, according to counterpunch.org, up here, when really it's not even 15. Like 15 isn't even cutting it. 15 would be what it should have been around like 1990. 2020? Nah. Anyways, so
It's a funny thing about reality. It just is.
it's
You
not
can't wish it
fair. Reality's on. See, this is so
Wait.
stupid.
So here is my
Reality, it just is. So they don't want to do anything about it. They don't want to try to change it. Conservatives don't work to change reality. They're so accepting of it. It's kind of sad.
cautionary tale. For over 3 decades,
What I think about a fair minimum wage, what we have right now is unfair. I think it's like $10. Vary state by state, but our national minimum wage is $10, right? Yeah. Reality is unfair, and it is what it is. Like, that's such a toxic mindset. That's why conservatives don't actually have new ideas.
I had a good
It's
job
not a living wage. It's absolutely not a living wage.
working as a server.
Good job working as a server. So you're a waitress. You're not paid. Wait. If you're a waitress, aren't you like primarily like you're super underpaid? Either you're not paid at all, or you're super underpaid by your actual employer, and the only profit you can make are through tips, right?
I have worked in some amazing award-winning restaurants in Seattle. I enjoyed the work, met wonderful people, and I was making really good money.
Yeah, through tips.
I wasn't making much per hour, that's true.
Because you're not paid for hours as a server. How do servers in America make money? They don't. You're being like, this is so sad. I'm about to say 18 more per hour with both tips and base pay. Oh, so they do get base pay. So this is working on an economics blog by Elise Gold and David Cooper. 7 facts about tipped workers and tip minimum wage. On the reference to raise a tip minimum wage in Washington, D.C. to the minimum wage for nearly all other workers, we wanted to take a few. Yeah, so if you're being tipped, your minimum wage is a lot lower. But overall, depending on where you work, you can make more than minimum wage through tips. And if this woman seems to be working at a nice restaurant in Seattle, I'm safe to assume that she's making decent money. Do you guys have to tip, or is it optional? It's you don't have to, but like it's super shitty if you don't, because these people are gonna die. I want to work at Hooters. They make $25 an hour plus tips. It would be great there. Yeah, for real. Like, if you don't tip, it's super shady. But like, that's like, I mean, I don't know. That says a lot. Like, you're scavenging by like the kindness of others to make a living wage.
True, but in my business, the magic is in tips. On a typical night, I would make on average $25 to $50 an hour.
I think she worked at Hooters. Guys, she worked at Hooters. No, that's so sad. I'm used to the objectification of lifeguards. That's so
Believe me,
shitty.
I earned
You shouldn't save them then.
it. I took pride in my work.
She definitely worked at Hooters. Nothing wrong with working at Hooters, but $25 base plus tips for $50 a day. I don't know,
wanted
man. That's pretty. Wait, did you say $50? Yeah, $50 an hour. Yeah.
every dining experience to be a memorable one for my guests. I also loved my job for this reason. I had flexibility.
Okay.
I could plan my work schedule. That was very important to me because I had a growing son. It was a good life. Then, in 2015,
Drown. Yeah,
the
let 'em drown.
Seattle City Council raised the minimum wage from $9.47 to $15 an hour. A 58% hike.
I can't. How? I'm so interested to see where this is going.
Great for the working stiff, right? Well, hang on, because here comes Mr. Reality. The business owner, the person who signs the checks, has to find a way to pay for this massive new expense.
What?
For Walmart or Microsoft or a large restaurant chain,
Well, they can stop profiting. They can, like, you know. I feel like she doesn't have a problem with the minimum wage. She has a problem with the fucking the capitalists who are, so angry that they have to give up a little more. Are Hooters, do Hooters workers unionize? They should.
this might not be a problem. For a local restaurant owner, it's a nightmare. Contrary to popular
I thought she worked at a super like high-end restaurant.
opinion, most restaurants don't have big profit margins. In fact, most are razor thin.
I like that little
Seattle
detail.
restaurant owners, faced with this shock to their bottom line, raised prices, reworked their menus, and created new compensation models. Some did away with tips altogether, substituting
Wait, why would they get away with tips?
a flat service charge as a way of navigating the climbing wage. That change in the tipping model caused a dent in my
Why would they? Like, that makes no sense. I don't understand why would they. Why would they get away with tips? Tips are optional. Are they pocketing the tips?
navigating the climbing wage.
Are they taking percentage of the tips? I'm so confused.
Together, substituting a flat service charge as a way of navigating the climbing wage. That change in the tipping model caused a dent in my pocketbook. The rise in the wage did not cover the loss of tips.
Why did they remove tips? I'm. Why did they remove tips? Yeah, they definitely worked at Hooters, or just like I guess not because Hooters is a chain, so like a local. Why did they? I don't understand. Let me.
Seattle restaurant owners, faced with this shock to their bottom line, raised
What?
prices,
Okay.
reworked their menus, and created
Sure.
new compensation models.
Yeah, that makes. Okay.
Some did away with tips
Why?
altogether.
Tips don't lose you money.
Substituting a flat service
Why didn't they just take a percentage of the tips then? They do that too. Why don't they just like, I mean, this is not what I believe should happen, but in this system, if you are like the petty bourgeois who owns a restaurant, you can take a percentage of tips from workers. So you can basically send the workers back to the baseline, the $50 an hour she was getting, because. But also, wasn't she getting paid $25? She was getting paid $25 an hour, plus tip. Oh no, never mind. That's not what that meant. I thought she was getting another $25 per hour in tips. So just this shouldn't be an issue if you don't. I'm pretty sure you some companies can take a percentage if they're not unionized. The new law cannot keep service tips. Okay, as of when was this? 2018. You can't keep servers' tips. The bill express prohibit employees, managers, or supervisors from collecting or retaining tips made by employees. One of the bigger concerns opponents had against the Department of Labor's most recent and widely hated proposal. The bill nullifies that previous proposal. The government has passed a new budget proposal which includes protections for tipped workers, and Trump signed it into law, threatening to veto it. Of course Trump threatened to veto it. Of course he threatened to veto it. Imagine giving workers more. Nah. Dude, all he did was bust unions. That was his job. Where's my ad blocker? What? I don't have ad blocker? Hold up. Add to Chrome. Add extension. There we go. Enable. Okay. Hold up. Bust my union. Administration to include the provisions of the ominous budget bill as written. It amends the Fair Labor Standards Act. At the same time, expresses codified protections for tipped restaurant workers and institutes specific consequences for employees, supervisors, and managers that break the law. The bill states an employer may not keep the tips received by its employees for any purposes, including allowing managers or supervisors to keep any portions of employees' tips, regardless of whether or not the employee makes a tip credit. So subject to civil penalty not to exceed. Alright, this is good. Employees, including managers and supervisors, can never keep tips. If a tip credit taken, the current Obama era rule applies. Tips are property of front of the house employees only. I wish she would like what the sources are. Sources quiz. Or like what year this was. I want to know when this happened.
Charge as a way of navigating the climbing wage. That change in the tipping model caused a dent in my pocketbook. The rise in the wage did not cover the loss of tips. And, of course, they cut back on employee hours and
I just wish I could understand why.
support staff too. But for many
What is a service charge? Good question. What is a service charge? Who said service charge? Was that the thing we read? A service charge is collected to pay for services related to the primary product or service being purchased. Service charges are different from tips, which are paid at the discretion of the customer after receiving a service. Many industries collect service charges, including restaurants, banking, and travel. Where does it say never mind. According to the International Review Service, IRS, there's a big difference between service charges and tips. Amount imposed on the customer, including automatic gratuities. I can't read. Was considered service charge. The IRS classifies the following service charge: banquet, event fees, automatic gratuities, gratuities. Oh fuck, I'm stupid. Added for large parties at restaurants and other dining facilities, hotels. Okay, so I think that's like if you're like making, like you're having like an event somewhere, right? Is that what that means? You're having an event, you gotta pay like straight up for like the service beforehand. And then tips are okay. Hell yeah. Gratuities. Whatever. I'll just speak less. Hospitality. Most hotels and restaurants in the U.S. charge a service fee that percentage of the total bill, often in lieu of tipping. The delivery fee charged for ordering room service at a hotel, I'm not going to say that word, applied to the bill for a large group dining at the restaurant are examples of service charges. It's stated to be 18%, then the total bill will be paid. Oh. So that's not a tip. That's already implemented. Interesting.
many establishments, none of these cost-saving measures worked. Restaurants, some that had been in business for decades, many family-owned, closed, including the ones I worked for. Good servers don't grow on trees, and I was able to score an interview at another amazing restaurant. Then, before I could even confirm the interview, that one closed too. Same reason. The $15 minimum wage cut their profits down to nothing. So let me add this up for you. I make a lot less money now than I did before Seattle decided to do what was supposedly in my best interest. I used to be able to pay my bills as they came due.
So, Simon Barron. This is clearly very anecdotal.
Now it's a juggling act. I used
And
to have enough money to
if this is like as true as she says it is, only impacts this type of industry.
support my son's extracurricular activities. Now I often just say no.
Wait, it was Hooters? What did he say? So, well, Hooters. What's about Hooters?
Before the minimum wage increase, I had one job and worked 4 days a week. After the wage hike, I had 2 jobs and worked 6.
I'm so
20%
bored.
or more on any checks and a tipping culture. I used to average 18 to 20% or more on any check. Now, instead of tips, I get a flat 14%, part of the 20% service charge the restaurant owner tacks on the bill.
Yeah. And then you can tip. You can also tip. So there's a service charge, which is 20%, 14. Wait, what?
Part of the 20.
Hold up, what?
Now, instead of tips, 18 to 20. With my skills and a tipping culture, I used to average 18 to 20% or more on any check.
What?
Now,
Okay.
instead of tips, I get a flat 14%,
And why do you not get tips?
part of the 20% service charge the restaurant owner tacks on the bill.
Yeah. Duh. In lieu of tipping, you can do both. Versus tips. There's a big difference between service charge and tips. Can you have both? Wishes to give a tip, that's their own choice. Tips can come from form of cash with their electronic payment system. Merchant business cannot compel customer to make tip, and the customer may be able to determine the amount. Furthermore, the customer has a right to determine who gets the tip. Like a 20% increase won't disincentivize someone to tip that much.
I
Yes.
still pride myself in providing good service,
No, this
but
is
the
such a boring
incentive to
video.
go the extra mile is Seattle's answer to my problem. To raise the minimum wage again.
Good.
The progressive idea
Minimum wage is not even close to a bad thing. Enable. Get those ads blocked. Okay, they're still there. Fuck. Hey, it's my stream. What are we looking for? Prager you? Oh yeah. Dude, well, I don't even know, like... Wait, how did they... What? Did they post a video on 9/14? It's 12. That's in 2 days. Why did I see a video? Wait, did I see that correct? Why colorblindness? Right, that's the one. That should be under race relations. Don't judge blacks differently. You can leave flight pianos. Oh, it's an entire fireside chat. Oh God, those are the worst. Where is this fireside chats? Oh man, those are disgusting. Fireside chat. Why colorblind is an act is.
Hi everybody, I'm Dennis
Why colorblind is actually anti-racist.
Prager and
What colorblind really means. What colorblind doesn't mean. Skin color really that important? How far left is the right woman to go? So colorblindness, in regards, it's basically like when I talk about colorblindness on the left, it's essentially like class reductionism. where you can equate where like you hey, look at that dog, that's a cute dog, like disregard the inherent like systemic racism that black people face in America and equate it to the systemic issues that the working class or the poor like the poorest citizens face in America. The dog is dead. Bruh, he's fucking boiling. That's impressive. I like that font. I didn't know you could do that in here. And you got the emojis too. Nice. Good shit. Otto, the giver of peace. What color? Is Otto the dog?
To the fireside chat. Otto's doing well, as you can see.
It is the dog.
Otto, you doing well? Did he lift his eye even? Otto.
Oh my God.
It's a special dog. You know why Otto rename him or give him a middle. Anyway, welcome to the fireside chat. I offer some thoughts and then I take your questions.
I offer some thoughts. Dude, you edit every script. That's all you do. Yeah, that
It's very
sounds like
spontaneous,
disgusting.
which has great advantages, risks obviously, but great advantages because it's very real. I love real. That's real to me. Is a
He kind of reminds me of Trump.
turn on.
So, oh,
I love real. Okay.
he's getting this might not be YouTube friendly, guys. Oh shit. So I want to hear his definition of
Anyway.
colorblindness.
So much for that. I want to talk
Dude.
to you about
Yeah, look at him. Hide it well, buddy. Hide it well.
a word that a lot of people misuse, a lot of people even now amazingly attack, and even those who believe in it don't often know how to define it, and that is colorblind. So I grew up.
I feel like he can't have a definition. I realized I kind of didn't really define it that well. Colorblindness is saying that, oh, I wish we didn't see race. Oh, why does everything have to be about race? It's just trying to disregard the fact that race is the factor. Sometimes you'll have it in the form of class reductionism on the left. Other times you'll have it when it comes from the right, people being like, just shut up about race. Like, we got over it. Like, it's no longer a problem. Like, I'm colorblind. I don't see race. Like, the conservative hype house posted a video. Someone asked him, like, do you hate Mexican people? And he was like, I don't hate Mexican people. I need to meet a person, and if they're brown, if they're Mexican, that's all, but they're a good person, then that's great. But if they're a bad person, well, then they're just a bad person. But I don't think color has anything to do with it, blah, 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 blah. But in reality, you probably do, because you voted for Donald Trump. He said this wearing a Make America Great Again hat, which implies very heavily that he doesn't like Mexicans. Apparently he's colorblind, because my guy cannot see the color of what's going on here. Like, this to him is just like all, I don't know, like what, like this color. Like, he doesn't see that these are different colors. He's confused.
With the ideal of being colorblind. That was the racial ideal, to be colorblind.
It would be an ideal if the systems at play were colorblind, but they're not. So this is not ideal. You can't live your everyday life. I mean, you can to a certain extent live your everyday life and not seeing race as a factor, and you should, but you can't disregard race as a factor when it comes to systemic problems. You can't see the inequality of the income inequality and not see race being a factor of it. That is incorrect, naive, and just from a huge position of privilege. But true, you should, when interacting with people of other races, not view them as different. You should talk to them like they're your friends, because they're your friends. But you should still understand that their lived experiences in this country are different than yours, and you can't ignore that or disregard that, because then you're just not helping anyone.
That the thing you notice about a person, obviously you notice, and I'm going to explain this, of course you notice the color. You notice a lot of things about a person when you see them. But the ideal is that it doesn't matter. That's what colorblind means. It doesn't matter. Now we're told that it should matter, which is exactly what I was taught my whole life, and I grew up a liberal, was racist.
Yeah, like ideas change, man. Like to a certain extent, though. I don't know how liberal you were when you grew up, but like we thought that was the way to do it, and it didn't work because nothing changed. So we're trying a new way, but by nature, conservatives can't try new things. So.
To the extent that color matters is the extent that you're...
Yeah, every PragerU video starts with, I was once a liberal, and then I went to a Trump rally, and they bowed down and kissed my feet, and then I went to a BLM riot, and they told me that I hate America and that my kids should be burned at the stake before they're even born. So I am now a conservative, and like fucking Candace Owens, holy shit, she's the worst person ever. She actually went to high school in the town, like very close to my town, very close. I go to that town all the time. I'm going to a city, Stamford, Connecticut. There's a sit-in at the Stamford PD tomorrow that I'm going to. Like they're my backyard neighbor. Fuck. And she got like hate speech spewed at her from the son of the mayor. She got helped by the NAACP. She managed to sue, win, and now she made a website that essentially can let you report incidents of hate speech and add like the address and the name and like basically dox people. And everyone on the left and a lot on the right, Breitbart too, was imagine unironically living in Connecticut. Fuck you. They were like this is a shitty idea. Don't do this. Like Candace Owens, you're dumb as hell. And then she like came back and she came out. She literally has a coming out video. It's titled "Mom, Dad, ... I'm conservative." She has a coming out video as conservative. And then she like rips on the amount of attention that her failed dumb website got and blames left media. So fuck Candace Owens. I don't know what we're talking about, but we're here. So let's get back to the video.
A racist, which is I 100% still subscribe to. If color matters to you, you're a racist. I don't care if you're
No. What?
black. I don't care if you're white. If color matters, you are the racist.
Look how proud he is. He's so proud because for the first time he can call someone else racist that isn't himself. You can say that color matters and be incredibly anti-racist. When I say that my privilege of being born into this town, into this skin color, into this country, into this state, carries privilege, and this gender, this sexuality, carries privilege, that is not racist. That is just pointing out, what does he like to call it? A reality. That is a reality. That because of systems that you would have probably supported way back then, there is a difference in the way that black Americans and white Americans live their lives in this country. You can't ignore that. You cannot ignore that, right? Oh my God.
I will not redefine myself. And
like, does he ever like watch like a game of basketball and like not notice that like the majority are black? The majority of the players are black. I don't believe in his ability to not do that. I'm like,
not even me.
matters to me that not white tits varying to me, and I don't care if that makes me racist. Connecticut privilege, SMH. Yeah. Look at the dad from Family Guy. What the fuck? For real. Let's stare into the camera. I don't think he knows what basketball is. True. It's not racist by nature to choose to not like make assumptions about people based on race. And the left doesn't do that either, but the left knows that statistically speaking, there's a different way that you are perceived by the system if you are of a different race. So that is indisputable.
Will not
Stop ripping on New England. I want to become our own country.
redefine what is good to assimilate into the current thinking, which is bad.
So this is the definition of conservatism. Conservatives believe that being able to maintain the status quo is preventing us from having like bad ideas. Like, I guess a bad idea to them would be socialism. So that this is the like straight up conservatism.
I will not redefine myself, and not even me. I will not redefine what is good to assimilate into the current thinking, which is bad. This is a true example of the biblical phrase in Hosea of those who call, woe unto those who call good
Okay, I don't care
evil
about
and evil good bad. And now we're told think colorblind is bad and taking color as important.
No, dude, it's the ability to learn and grow. It's the ability to be like, oh shit, dude, I will secede. Good. I don't want you guys either.
As if it
You guys distracted me.
defines anything about you. So,
Dude, race defines a lot about you. Is that what he said? Is that the
and
point?
taking color as important, as if it defines anything about.
It does. It does define a lot about who you are. It does. Like I don't know how to state this more plainly than the fact that if you are born black, there's a higher percentage. God, what's the stat? It's like 50. I think 58 of black kids under the age of 6 live in poverty, as opposed to, oh man, I have a screenshot of it somewhere. I need to start like compiling my data. Abstract. Oh, here it is. Okay, so 20% of black Americans live in poverty as opposed to 10% of Americans. So statistically speaking, if you are born white, you have a lower percent chance of being born into poverty. That is indisputable. Indisputable. White people also have a higher chance of mobility through the economic ladder. Yeah, race makes Adrian. Fuck you guys.
So I'll give you a couple of examples, so you will truly understand what colorblind should mean. And really
My dad
has
is half Iraqi, half white. My mom is full Chinese. Nice.
always meant. So
I'm Italian, so I mean, I think I'll win.
people
Oh God, no. Is that what you guys took away from that? Me saying that you're statistically more likely to be successful if you're white?
who attack us for saying colorblind is good say
Us. I love how he says us.
you're fooling yourself. No, there's no such thing as colorblind. You don't see a person's color. But that's not what colorblind doesn't mean you don't see a person's color. The only person who doesn't see a person's color is a blind person. But if you have eyes, you see a person's color.
Gotcha.
But all right, to the extent that it's not an issue, look at me. What do you see? See glasses? Okay.
I see a older white male in a very nice house, well off, a little chubby. I assume I can make many assumptions off of that.
Are you glasses blind? No, you're not glasses blind. You see my glasses. You see white hair?
Dude, if I see someone's glasses, I will assume that they have a harder time being able to read. Or that they're a little, like, what?
Are you white hair blind? No. You see my white hair, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yes, it does. Kinda. Like, it does. It means you can't see that great. It means that you're old.
That's the whole point. That's the ideal of colorblind.
What point did you just try to make? Dude, I see your snaggly ass teeth. I see your wrinkles. I see your glasses, and I see your white hair. I'm like, this is an old man. Because this is an old man, I will assume that he's lived through experiences that I have not lived through as a young little boy. Actually, I'm not a little boy. As a young man. I'm a young man now. I did it. I graduated into 18.
That the color of your skin is, I see it. I'm not blind literally to the color of your skin, but it doesn't matter. That's
true. It doesn't matter, but it doesn't negate the fact that they haven't lived through different experiences than you, and you need to understand that their perception of the world, or let's give an example, their perception of interacting with the police is different than yours because of the way that police have historically been interacting with people of color in America.
That's the issue. My color hair doesn't matter to you. My wearing
It does. You're ugly.
glasses doesn't matter to you. My color skin shouldn't.
Dude, if because I see all these features, I'm like, that's an old man. Say potentially, for example, so let's say hypothetically, I saw you walking down the street and you were older and you had a cane and you had glasses and old hair, and I saw you carrying a lot of books. I would assume, I'd make the assumption, hypothetically speaking, that you are an older man, and I would try to help you carry the books across the street. And if you said, "No, thank you, sir, I got it," I would step back and understand.
Matter to you. That's the whole point.
Grown man.
But the left, whose moral compass is always broken.
Okay. Source.
North is always south, and south is always north.
Source. I don't know where north and south is, so he's right, actually.
Is teaching us that, oh, that's really important. But why? Why is skin color more important than hair color?
Ben Sharpie.
I never got an answer to that. It's just something.
Why is skin color more important than hair color? Is that what he just asked? Because when we made America, we didn't turn the people who had nice blonde hair into literal property. We did that to black people. Also, the color of your hair tends to correspond with race.
You're born with. It's a physical property. So what?
What's the stat? Black people who straighten their hair have a higher chance of getting hired, as opposed to black women who wear their hair naturally, because it looks, quote, unprofessional.
That's what colorblind means. Yes, we see it, but we see many things.
So if I showed up, we were talking about this in debate, if I show up, or let's not say, if I show up to anything, like naked, or not naked, in underwear, and I just cut myself bangs and dyed the tips of my hair blue, one would make assumptions about who I am. I don't know if that's a good enough, like if that's a decent analogy, but you can't deny the fact that as human beings, we notice these things and we make assumptions off of them. So what colorblindness used to was originally started as, it was an attempt to say, hey, you should, when you look at a person, don't judge them by the color of their skin, judge them by the content of their character, right? Conservatives love this line so much. But, and that's all good. That is a good statement. You shouldn't judge people by the content of their skin, or the color of their skin, but the content of their character. But you can't just hold on to that. You need to see that the color of their skin in this system will put them in situations that a person of another skin color would probably, statistically speaking, not find themselves in as often.
The question is whether we believe it's intrinsically important. What do I know about you if you're black? Let's think about that. What do I know? I meet a black person in a restaurant. What do I know about that person, knowing that the person's black?
Nothing. You know nothing about them. You just know that they're black.
The answer is nothing. The person may have moved here from Africa 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, have zero relationship to slavery in America, has nothing.
Just because you have a relationship to slavery in America, like a direct like linear like relationship, like your great great grandfather was a slave, has nothing to do with the way that your skin color will affect how you are perceived by the state. It won't change what happens to you when you're driving through a neighborhood at night and you're pulled over by the police. It won't.
Nothing in common in that regard with an American black who came here, or whose ancestors came here on slave ships, correct?
The only difference is that if you moved from Africa to America, unless you're a refugee escaping war, you have the money and the financial capability to come to America and generally to seek higher education. There's, especially from, I think, Nigeria, a lot of people go seek higher education in America. So they tend to be economically higher. So that's the thing about like class reductionism. You're not a class reductionist if you say that someone who is black in America, but was able to move to America because they have a lot of money and a lot of capital and are wealthy, they have certain privileges through wealth that a dirt poor someone living in a trailer in the South doesn't have. However, the white person living in a trailer in the South, if they get into a car and are pulled over by the police, statistically speaking, they won't die from that encounter as likely as the rich black person who moved here. The point of saying that trying to say that the oppression of black people currently in America is because of their personal relationship to slavery is stupid.
So I know nothing unless I ask you, what is your ancestry? What if it's
It has nothing. Their ancestry doesn't matter. Their ancestry does not matter at all.
a black tourist from the Caribbean visiting?
It doesn't matter. Their ancestry does not matter to the current situation because they will get racially profiled just as much.
On vacation. What do I know about you? I know nothing. I would have to ask you questions. What do you know about me seeing my color white? Nothing.
That you're old.
Do you know I'm Jewish? You don't know I'm Jewish.
I saw the books.
So I have a very different background than a white Episcopalian in North Dakota, correct?
Okay. True. Probably not to the significance of being black in America, though.
So it's an absurdity. All whites have nothing in common, and all blacks have nothing in common. Unless they have something in common.
So then why are the statistics the way that they are?
That is in addition to their color. So why is it important? If I know you're white or black, do I know you're kind? Do I know you're mean? Do I know you're honest?
Well, we have an issue with racially profiling.
Do I know you're a crook? Do I know you're true?
So he's saying this, but there is still people who generally make assumptions about other people just based off stereotypes. Like currently, that's still a problem. So he's acting like everyone went colorblind, and now they're being told to not be colorblind, but that's not the case.
Treat your family nicely.
If every single person went full on colorblind to the point where they had no assumptions about anyone's race, it would probably be easier for black communities to do better because they wouldn't be blocked out of getting jobs, right? The fact that their hair is natural doesn't have an impact on how often they're getting hired. So if that happened, it would be easier, although it wouldn't fix the problem. So the way to compensate for that is to realize that there is issues, systemic issues, and then working to push policies to undo these systemic problems. Guys, you're not seeing. Yeah, exactly. I'm I'm both racist, so racism doesn't. I'm not racist. Yeah, exactly. That's what he's trying to say. He's like, I don't see it, so stop complaining.
Do I know you have a family?
And they always do this. They're like, why do you guys need to make it about race when we try to talk about like poverty statistics? But then they're like, oh, then why do black people commit 1350? It's all backwards. Their heads must be so empty.
I know nothing about you, so why is it significant? If I know nothing about you, how significant can it be? I know as much.
They always have such a strong focus on individual encounters.
About you if I know your skin color as I know about you by knowing whether you wear glasses or not. In fact, I know more about you if you wear glasses. I know you need glasses. So
what? Dude, he's like going insane. Look at him. Oh my God.
I know that one fact.
I know nothing.
This is such common sense
True.
and decency wrapped in one. The leftist view, the Black Lives Matter organization's view is racist and vile and stupid because we know nothing about you.
What the fuck?
What does a black conservative and a black leftist have in common? Nothing.
The color of their skin.
What do a white conservative and a white leftist have in common? Nothing.
The color of their skin, their privilege.
Black conservative and a white conservative have in common? Everything.
No. Wait. No. No. No.
What does a white Christian and a black Christian have in common? Everything.
No.
When
No. None of this is correct. None of this is correct. You can't keep trying to say that the difference between growing up black in America and growing up white in America doesn't exist, because it does, and wishing it away won't solve that. You need to implement systemic reforms that changes the current situations.
I speak at churches and I see I speak often to pastors groups. There are black pastors and white pastors. They have so much more in common than they do with people who have no affiliation with their religion outside of their race, or inside their race, I should say.
I mean, true. To some extent, if I like dedicated my entire life to becoming a professional cornhole player, and I met a black professional cornhole player, we would have a good amount of commonalities, because somehow both of our lives were brought to the point where we invested this much time in cornhole. But that doesn't negate the other parts of our lives that create differences. And generally, the parts of my life that would be different from his life have to do with race. Because if that is truly the only difference, and there are still differences, this is a bad point. This is a bad take. I need to rethink about how I want to phrase that. Yes, in your profession, you will have stuff in common with people in your profession, but that doesn't negate the existence of racial bias and systemic racism. Is what I've tried to say.
This is what I mean. This is when I say college makes you stupid. I don't mean that as a put down. It is a put down, but I don't mean it as a put down. I mean it as a fact.
What the fuck?
It teaches you that this is important. So tell me one thing you know when you know a person's color. What do you know about them of any significance or even insignificance?
I know that there's a higher percent chance that they were racially profiled more times than I have been.
Nothing.
Incorrect.
So how important could it be?
Very important.
It isn't.
It's important to acknowledge those differences, to work to change them, to equal them out.
Now, do you know what colorblind means?
No, you didn't define it.
Okay, time for our video question and other questions from you around the world.
Oh, this keeps going down.
Take it away.
Hi, Dennis Prager. My name is Ethan Lewis, and I'm from New Zealand. My question is, how far left is the right willing to...
Dude, the right in New Zealand is basically the current democratic establishment. So, fuck you. I need to pee and do homework. Man. This is the stupidest thing ever. Alright, what did we learn? We learned that Dennis Prager gets very butthurt when people try to tell him that the old way of approaching Racism is a little outdated and doesn't work unless literally everyone in every system tries to do it. No, I know, but I didn't think it would keep going. Don't expect a painless life. The left hates individualism. The far left. Why does the left focus on the bad? Why does the left focus on the bad?
All right. Emily, 13 years old, Michigan.
Oh,
Why
God,
does the left
poor
only
girl.
focus on the bad things America did and ignore all the good things? I can't understand it. Because they're ingrates.
What?
Every leftist is an ingrate by definition. Because if
What?
you're grateful, you can be a liberal, you can be a conservative, but you can't be a leftist.
What?
Not
No.
only that, it is truly intellectually impoverished.
What?
To preoccupy oneself with America's racial flaws.
Dude, to try to fix them is intellectually impoverished? What is wrong with you? How dumb are you?
Like slavery. Every nation in the history of the world had slavery. Every.
And every nation doesn't have the same systemic problems that America has. So why does America have those problems? So how can we fix them?
In Africa, in the Americas, among the native peoples, in of course in Europe.
Oh my God. I lost brain cells. Don't follow your passion by Prager. You nice. Wow. Colorblind is actually anti-racist. What a stupid fucking video. God, they're so dumb. I wish conservatives were a little smarter. It would be more fun to debate. That's why the left likes to only like debate themselves, because we actually like require nuance in understanding complex issues, where the very, don't mind my superiority complex right now, but the left does require more nuance in complex issues, because we are progressive by nature, so we're trying to predict the future, where conservatives don't, because all they have to do is repackage old arguments. You hear this all the time. You see all the memes on TikTok that's like talking about like feudalism, where it's like a turf being like, oh, you critique feudalism and yet you work on a farm or whatever. And we hear that shit now. Like it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I'm convinced every conservative alive today, if they were alive back then, would be like actively anti-enlightenment thinking. Like I don't believe conservatives, they were born before like the French Revolution, would believe in the idea of the Enlightenment philosophers. Wow. Like I wish I was being sarcastic. I genuinely believe they would all be pro-slavery. They live to keep the status quo. That's the only thing they can do. Let me tuck you in, Allie, you fucking psycho. Peace out. Oh baby. I will see y'all. I know conservatives were pro-slavery, but like I'm saying, like Dennis Prager, if he like was alive back then, would still be pro-slavery, right? They conserve, progressives progress. Oh man, every argument they make is wrong. And so stupid. Why are you so bad? I didn't mean to go stream. I didn't mean to start my stream. I just want to test my audio. This was like totally accidental. Alright. Sorry. I just tucked you into bed. The left is so ungrateful. Dennis Prager was right. See you next year. Or not. I'll try to stream more often. Peace out.